Hi guys, and this is the second video that's been done on my new phone with no background, etc. So I've locked down here and all sorts of things that could go wrong, but wanting to be back, and I can't get it set up with the place that I normally do. So I'm going ahead and we're going to do the monthly tarot card forecast for July 2020, and I'll be using the mini Roderick deck. And as usual, we do, oh goodness, it's been so long since I did one. We do global, then we move to personal, and we do career, health, love, wealth, and then we do spiritual. So let's see how this does. So this is July 2020, and bear with me with the new camera, etc. Because it's the work that's important, not the hair, not the camera. Right, global, we have, oh, it's an interesting one. We have the star. Put this close. Now the star, well, you can see it quite clear in this camera, can't you? She's got beautiful, beautiful light above her head, and it is basically the star card. And to be honest, I wasn't expecting that for a global card because the world's still in turmoil. There's all sorts of things going on in the USA, the UK, but I like this because what it means is that we're going to have something to hope for. And the star, you know, it's we wish on a star, we look up to the stars, we hope because they give us that light. And even if you think of the sailors before they had, you know, sort of the electronic stuff, they just navigated by the stars, and maybe that's what we have to do in the month ahead, is navigate through hope rather than fear, and just keep going towards the hope for the future. So that's a really, really positive one for the global situation. Now, the hope may come out of some kind of collapse or something negative. I'm not saying that it won't, because there's too many negative energies around at the moment, but what we're going to have at the end of it is hope, and we will work with hope, and I know I certainly will. So yeah, I like that, I like that, I like that. So let's go to the personal cards now, and we're going to go with the aspect of career. These are general cards. They'll affect some people, they won't affect others. But here we go for career. And career, we have the, let's see, it's crazy, isn't it? The Five of Cups, and that is blockages. That is the sense of this big thing in the middle of the road. Yeah. Now there's a path up to it that looks blocked, but what you have to see is that this blockage doesn't go to the whole way to the edge of the card. So the thing about it is that if you hit a blockage, you can go around it. So with career, maybe if you've been in lockdown and then you're going back, but then you're back in lockdown or whatever, that's the type of thing for this card, that you just have to keep going and find ways round any objects, round any barriers. Career, that makes it quite an intensive week because you'll be tired with that card, believe me. You know, you can sit back and not go forward, but that's not the point. The whole point of the card is that, you know, there can be blockages there, but take the time and go around them rather than try and hit your head off a brick wall. And I know a lot of you will understand that when you're at work this week. Don't try and hit your head off a brick wall, just go round the brick wall. So that's the career card again. Let's be upbeat. Let's make things workable from that global star card. I'm so excited to see what hope comes. It would be nice, wouldn't it? A breakthrough in a vaccine, um, a sense of understanding of all the riots and stuff that are going on and taking on board why and listening. Yeah, could be little bits of hope, could be one big, huge bit of hope. So we've done the general career cards. Let's look at health. Health, we have the justice card. You've got the blindfold, you've got the aspect of the lightsaber. I love the lightsaber in this. But what does it mean as a health card? Well, it's justice, and the scales of justice are about balance. So with health this month ahead, I think I've said week ahead, but I mean month all the time. Forgive me, I'm just back. So for the month ahead, we've got this need to balance health, not let one side of the scale way down or put us out of balance. And that can be with physical health, it can be mental health, it can also be just the sense of emotions and being overwhelmed. Of course, all the things in the body that need balance, like blood pressure, balance organs themselves, could be a few cases of vertigo or Memoirs disease or stuff flaring up with this. Yeah, it's an interesting one. What do we do about it? It's not a passive card, although the sense of balance going along in the body can be, slow and whatever. We have to interact with the justice card and with the balance. So if we feel ourselves getting out of balance in any area of health, we must try to bring ourselves back into balance. And when doing that, we could find that we actually have a far more pleasant week. So it's not about big health issues this week, but generally balancing and maybe giving ourselves more self-care, which I'm doing, and giving ourselves a chance to I'm still working on the book, but what I mean is, like, when I'm not working, I'm spending downtime rather than maybe being on Twitter or something like that. I'm actually reading or being with Jim or cooking or whatever. It's nice stuff. So, let's see where love is concerned this week. Oops. Love. Ooh, Ten of Swords. Am I still on? Yes, I think I'm still on. Wait till I get my glasses. Sorry about this. Yeah, I am. Right, love. Ten of Swords. Not a particularly good card, but it can be used as a kind of movement forward. Within love, some people will be at the end of their tether. It's like when so many partnerships maybe sort of think everything will be okay when they go on holiday. And then they go on the holiday and they've just taken their problems with them. And because actually they're maybe in a confined space with the partner all the time, that it shows up the real flaws in the relationship and arguments can come out. Well, a lot of us in Scotland, we're still not out of lockdown or anything like that. We're getting there step by step, but other countries are out, but going back in. A lot of relationships will actually fail because of that. But they'll fail because they weren't strong to begin with. And those of you that get through with your partnerships intact know that they're strong, know that they're going to probably see you for life, because when we're in confined spaces with our spouses or partners, it can be very, very hard. So the month ahead, people going out of lockdown might be heading for the lawyer. to start divorce proceedings or move forward, move out. This can be quite a crisis, card as well, that people maybe have, when I see this out in a relationship zone, I'm always hoping that people will, phone helplines if there's physical or mental abuse. Because that can be there, and it's important that you know to get help or just get away with this card. Just go, okay? I never like seeing this out, particularly when there's been, in a normal situation it can be quite bad, but in a very, very anxious, enclosed situation, it can be devastating. So if I'm talking to you just now and you feel that your partnership is dangerous, or that this lockdown period or whatever has shown it up to be something that is making you ill, then move on and do the best you can, and put your hand out to someone and get some help, okay? If you're looking for a relationship, this one can, it's the weirdest card, because it means that love can flourish in a traumatized time, which is it's a wonderful thing, that out of bad things new love can come. So I'm not saying that there'll be no relationship starting in the month ahead, but watch that maybe you're not being drawn to a person who really is not good within themselves. Don't be drawn into a kind of empath narcissist relationship, because again, that can be the warning on that card. So if you make it through, your relationship's solid, but it's not the best card. So let's do wealth. And again, this is general. Even general with the love card, you could be in a great relationship, no problems, and you're actually coming out of the situation, as I say, feeling even more reborn, because after the Ten of Swords, there's not really any place else to go apart from the One of Swords and start fresh. So yeah, anyway, wealth. Yeah, the Hierophant, the High Priest. Lovely in this deck. It's not my favourite card, but probably because I don't like dogma or authority, but that's just me. Although I think it's a lot of you in the channel as well. I think from what I see, we've got an awful lot of spiritual people that are also very bolshy, and I kind of like that. So anyway, the High Priest for wealth is just taking advice. If you need to go to a debt agency, go to a debt agency. If it's time to talk to someone, if you've got investments and what's going to happen with the world next, that might be again an indication that everybody needs to look at their financial situation and make themselves as secure as they can, which could indicate, ups and downs in the financial markets, and also ups and downs in even access to help financially. So in the month ahead, don't be silly with finances, and if anything, get proper advice from either a debt counsellor or an accountant, and work with it, because when you take that type of advice, not only does it, as long as it's good advice, but when you take that type of advice, what you do have is a feeling of, well, I've done my best, whatever the situation is that hits, I've done my best, and I'm as secure as I can be, and that's a really good way to feel. So let's see if we can get spiritually. Right, spiritually. Ooh, brilliant. Card 8, Strength. It's got a lion on it, a naked woman. Quite a different interpretation from the the sort of more tame version of the other more traditional decks, where the woman is holding the lion by its jaws just very serenely. This one shows the degree of passion that can come out of this card. So the first thing I'd like to say is, people say, well, spirituality, you don't necessarily associate passion with that. Well, of course you do. You can't be, to me, you've got to be passionate about your spirituality. If you're not passionate about your spirituality, then it's not working for you. If you're just chundering along and, saying your prayers or doing what you're meant to do, and you're not feeling passion or inspiration or the need to, you want to learn more or you want to pass things on, then spiritually that's a bit dead. So the passion that is in this card in the spiritual zone can very much give you that edge of moving forward and thoroughly enjoying just feeling the buzz about your spirituality, and that's fantastic. So use it. It could bring out creativity. It could lead you to the right person that inspires you and gets you going, and maybe becomes a mentor or whatever. Fantastic card. Also, there's a side of, people in relationships having very special bond with maybe the sense of spirituality of the couple and of essential working together. So it's all on that card. And spiritually, I often like it when it comes out, because it normally means if I've been feeling a wee bit flat, or if I've been feeling a wee bit as though, I haven't got the energy to do the spiritual work that I want to do, when this card comes out, I'm like, yes, let me at it. And that's the way I felt about getting back to the channel. And I hope spiritually it lasts for the full month for me, so that I can enjoy getting back to the channel, and also spiritually move forward with the book, which you'll be sick of hearing about, but I'm quite excited about it now. So spiritually, allow yourself to become passionate and allow yourself to be inspired, creative, and enjoy. And that's July 2020. Again, I hope this video is of an okay standard, and I hope that we can be maybe set up next week properly. But as I say, I'm beginning to realise that this camera and selfie, if I just wanted to have a wee wander and show you certain things, it's far easier than the solid camera. So I want to be able to interact with both and do it properly, not be not be silly. Oh, and just before we go, I'd like to say thank you to everybody who got back on the coffee and chat video. Everybody got back giving me advice on that forest card, or breathe, and I'm taking it on board. Believe me, I really am taking it on board. If we're lucky, my two daughters will be up this week, and we'll be sitting out in the back garden having our distance. This cottage gets 3 fields round about it and a wood in front of us, and it's nice just to take in the quietness and also absorb the green, and I'll definitely be doing that, whether they manage it or not, but I think we'll manage it anyway. So I've enjoyed doing this again, and let me know what you think, particularly about the star card for the global situation, and many blessings, and I love you and leave you. I still haven't